Kevin's.
Oh, I got them both.
Got the Kevin's. Yeah.
What is happening, boys?
What's up, guys?
You're looking beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bunch of gorgeous gentlemen. How are
Happy
you guys?
holidays, gents.
How long have you guys been doing the show?
Year and couple months now. October 2019 is when we started.
Nice. How did it come about? Was it just a drunk Zoom call?
No, I had this brainchild. I thought I want to do another podcast. Are we recording yet? Or again, do I have to wait to fucking?
Yeah, we're recording.
yeah, no,
Okay.
we've been recording the entire like trying.
Oh,
like
like our pre-show chit
Yeah,
chat
yeah,
in your pre-po meetings are also for posterity. Cool.
yeah, the pre tech support that will all go like on in there.
Yeah.
It's
Fucking
all
great.
up.
Yeah, so how it came about was I wanted to do another podcast. I had done a few podcasts before with little to no success. And I wanted to do a movie one, but here's the thing. There are 8 million fucking podcasts out there movie-wise, and it's the same dumb bullshit. It's 4 dudes kicking around a table drinking beer like, yeah, man, Star Wars is better than Empire. Fuck you. Empire is better than Jedi. Jedi is better than Star Wars. Like, no one cares about your dumb opinions. Like, that's just unless you're a huge name, no one gives a fuck. So I thought, you know what? Let's have some fun here. Let's try and all these films that people love or that are financially successful or even critically acclaimed. I mean, I don't know how many conversations I've had with people. Kevin, this is the same story applies for him as well. It's just like, that movie sucks. It's so overrated or just flat out sucks. Mm-hmm. And it's a sacred cow, and it's that where that comes in. And it's just like, let's have a place where people can have the balls to come on and really try and take down these sacred cows and explain, like, you know what? No, the Emperor is not really wearing any clothes. This film sucks. Upon rewatch, or you know what? You're wrong. You're an asshole. This film is still excellent. And it's you're just a douche. And that's how it came about. I threw it out there on Facebook one day. And then Kevin Israel, my trusty and esteemed co-host, just answered the post. I said, hey, I'm looking for a co-host for a movie podcast. And he goes, in. And then Kevin and I have been knowing each other for a while.
Yeah.
And we've been back and forthing on films on Facebook here and there. I go, you know what? It's like when you're dating a chick, like, you know what's up. So now we're fucking, Kevin. How do you like that?
Well, Kevin G, I'm gonna like Kevin G and Kevin I. So Kevin G, but you didn't know because you still were like, anybody want to do this? Kevin I knew.
Ah.
All right. Are you trying to go bet on me my own fucking story, you piece of shit? Hilarious. You just flipped the script. You did. No, Israel's got a good nose for this stuff, and I'll let him tell the story. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, I've done a. I mean, it's the same story. I've done a bunch of podcasts. None of them really took off, and
yes.
And it just takes a certain, you guys know, it takes a certain chemistry and a certain willingness to put the time in.
Yeah.
And Kev had a great idea. We've had fun banter over Facebook. We've agreed, we've clashed, and when he brought it up, I was like, that would be a lot of fun, and it is a cool idea. And as I put it in one sentence, for every great movie, there's somebody who thinks it's crap, and we find that person and bring them on, and they piss off our entire audience. And it's a great cycle.
Cool.
Oh, that's great. Why is podcasting such a hard grind? Such a hard thing to get going?
Because you have to slog through so much shit to get noticed. That's why.
Yeah.
It's just, again, and I'll sound conceited. I know we have a great product. I've been told that so many times. All of our guests, all people I don't even barely know who get turned on to it. For example, I did Anthony Cumia's show 4 hours ago, and one of the fans messaged me on Facebook the second the show ends. He's like, dude, your show is, I listen to 3 podcasts, Zach Amico's, Anthony and Dave, the Anthony Cumia show, go to the movies, and he goes, you guys have it all perfected out. And he's quoting some of the shit we say back to us. Like, I know we've got a winner. Now, the key is, again, slogging through the garbage podcast of the area, the ones that are just kind of half-assing, or like we know we're good. We just need to get the time in and the word out there and I know we're gonna soar to the top without question. I have no doubt in saying that.
It's super hard. I feel like we're almost on the radar after doing it 7 years. Like it's a hard grind, man.
Maybe if you fire Slim, you might get there faster.
I was thinking of that. I'm
You
gonna
did a spit
try.
take, I almost got you, Slim.
Goddamn.
I'll cut myself after the show.
Have you guys ever disagreed on a movie? Have you guys ever gone head to head on a movie?
We have, and in fact, that was one of the questions the guys asked us today. The one movie that always stands out to me is Spaceballs. I fucking hate Spaceballs. He loves Spaceballs.
I love that
Jeff
Spaceballs.
guessed it Spaceballs, and that's what spawned the whole issue. Yeah, that's like the real one. Oh, I would say, I guess, Ace Ventura as well. I love Ace Ventura, and he hates Ace Ventura. I fucking love Ace Ventura.
I feel like comedies are probably the most polarizing because comedy's so subjective that what you think is funny, somebody else might think is stupid, and it's easy for everybody to love Shawshank Redemption or Back to the Future, but comedy's very divisive. Yeah. And so you're bound to clash, and I get the arguments against Spaceballs, I do, but I still watch it and laugh my ass off. And,
I watched it last summer with my kids and still was dying at some of the stuff. Like I think it was Major Asshole was one of the characters, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and it doesn't have to make sense. Comedy doesn't have to make sense for it to be good.
You're right, except for Napoleon Dynamite, where it doesn't make sense, nor is it funny.
That is one that's just a complete piece of shit, and I love that you guys trashed it because I've never even when it was at its
what was it
at its peak, Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. I was in high school when that was a big thing, and I watched like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I've never gotten it yet.
It's awful.
We haven't found a lot of people that loved it, but the people who do are like will die on the stake for it. It's crazy. But they still can't explain why it's funny. They just say it is.
I think I was a senior in high school, so I was probably 17 when it first came out, and like a lot of the kids in my school liked it. So I don't know if it's just like an age
school
group.
Then.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm not denying that at all. We're in the middle of the Pine Barrens. Like it just made sense for them all to like it.
He's in Napoleon Dynamite country.
Yeah, they were all like, "We relate to this character."
Yo, it's.
I wish a big forest fire would go through the Pine Barrens and take off your dumb schoolmates, whatever you want to call them, classmates.
Oh yeah, the South Jersey.
Me too.
That makes complete sense. You're living on the outer rim of LBI. You're a few chromosomes short.
Oh, dude. 10 minutes past 72. Once you go past the Parkway exit, it's game over, baby. Once you pass that Target right there, forget it. That is the Mason-Dixon line.
That Target is the safe zone. The Target is all that.
It's the green zone where you can't fire upon. But Target's cool. We go to Target before we go to LBI when we go every year. But shit, after that, man, it is like the Wild West and tumbleweeds and people from the hills have eyes fucking hanging out there.
You go a mile down, you got
neighbor
Walmart.
buys a shitty pickup truck to tow his already broken down shitty pickup truck. You're in the pines. That's.
We just described all of Jeff Dunham's fan group. Way to go.
There goes 2/3 of the country.
Oh,
whoops.
It's Larry the Cable Guy country down here. Oh, I don't even know. There's too many Trump signs on the yards around here. That's all I know.
You don't say.
Still on the yards and on the Jeeps, on the trucks driving around. Oh, I don't get the. I'm from South Jersey, but I wear Carhartts and I got a monster truck. I don't get it.
No, me neither.
Because you cross 195 and you go past the Mason-Dixon. That's how it works.
That's it.
It's like a time warp.
Do you guys have anything special planned for Christmas as far as movies?
That
go?
is the best segue I've heard all day.
Did you set that up, Kev?
Did you? No, not one bit. I did not Wayne Gretzky to Yari Curry him, 87 Edmonton Oilers. It's a great sports reference for all you sports fans. What are we doing for Christmas? I'm doing the same thing I would be doing, except I guess my in-laws is going to be a little more scaled down. They have they have a big, my wife's cousin has this huge house in the middle, I forgot where, Somerset County, and like 7 or 8 families combined. That's not happening this year. So I'm just going to my in-laws one day, Christmas Eve night. with her sister and her kids, and then Christmas Day I'm going to my parents with my brother and sister and their kids and shit, and that's it.
What about for the show though? Any good Christmas movies?
That's what I was talking about, the setup.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't catch it. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Rob, because next week we're doing a film that is very well revered and loved during the holiday season.
Okay.
And we even flipped the script by having me sit in and gut it. As Kevin did one before he did The Shining, I sat down and just recorded this not even 2 nights ago. I'm going to sit down and gut A Christmas Story. One of the worst pieces of shit that this film has ever seen. Oh, thank you for the applause. That film is insanely overrated. That I said in the podcast, that film is if the writers from Napoleon Dynamite wrote a Christmas film.
I've never gotten it. I've never thought it. Oh, it never got more than a chuckle, if that, out of me.
It is war crimes at the Hague level of torture. That's how bad it is.
I don't even know
the Geneva Convention.
I don't even know if I ever watched the whole thing through. I just remember like the special education classes that I was in would show it all the time, so we watched it every Christmas in
Perfect
school.
sense.
Yeah.
Right, perfect sense.
Together.
All the time, like my stepfather was obsessed with it, but I only remember like you'll shoot your eye out.
Lick
I
the
remember the
pole.
licking the pole, and I think
A
the
lamp.
The lamp.
Fucking
Yes,
lamp.
that's all I remember.
Yep.
And I'm like, this
That's the
movie
movie.
pretty much sucks.
It
right?
sucks. Didn't they have a sequel to it too?
I just heard Bill Schultz's ears and hair just spring out in anger.
If
Bill
somebody
Schultz
knocks
from
on
the
your
morning
door,
show
don't
on
answer it.
Anthony's Hour. Bill sat in and co-hosted with Kevin as I decided to sit down and fillet this thing surgically. Surgically, I will add.
Yeah, it's a killer episode, and it's perfectly timed for the holidays.
Yep.
If you next week, nobody's doing anything anyway. If you're working, you're not working.
Is this
It's a great time to listen to this monster episode.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Is this still
It is.
what channel is it that it marathons on every Christmas?
TNT.
And it still does that? They're still fucking doing
I don't
that?
know because I have better things to do with my time than waste it watching that piece of shit. I'll wait for Christmas Vacation to come on. That I'll watch.
Dude, that's a
But
movie.
not that.
Christmas Vacation, Elf, any of those. Not fucking Christmas Story. Ugh.
Yeah.
I
You guys,
remember
if you guys are down in Jersey, you guys should come up to our live show we're going to do on January 23rd. We're doing it in Clifton. Write that down, right by Giant Stadium, 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes away. We're doing a live show. We're having Bill and Joanne from the morning show on Compound Media. They're coming over, and Joanne picked, you ready for this film that she wants to shit on? The Karate Kid.
It's a good film.
Whoa, that's a good one. I was thinking that earlier today because I feel like you're either gonna love it or hate it with that one.
I fucking love the Karate
So
Kid.
we're gonna watch the movie in the theater, and then we're gonna do a show after that. So get your tickets now at guttingthesacredcow.com.
Cool. I love that. I love the Karate
So
Kid.
I don't
Come
know.
on up. We'd love to see you guys. Come on up.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to look at our schedules and try to make it out to that. But I don't want to spoil any of your Karate Kid opinions.
Karate Kidisms.
But what do you guys think of Cobra Kai?
I love it.
I
I
fucking
fucking
love
love
it.
it.
It's the tone is like perfect.
Yeah.
It's such a great callback and extension of the movie. It's just pitch perfect.
Just the character development in like Johnny Lawrence, I thought was amazing. Where like the
Yes.
first film, him being the villain, and them kind of flipping the script on that was just something people have theorized for years that like he's really the hero of the story, and they just did a great job of like Daniel just comes off as a cunt, but then there's other points where you're like, I kind of like him, he's all right, but they just it's really fucking good.
Nice.
Do you guys know that Ralph Macchio is now the same age as Pat Morita was when he did the Karate Kid? Does that not blow
No,
your
I didn't
mind?
know that.
Yes,
That's amazing.
that is crazy. That's
fucking
crazy. And Pat Morita's dead.
Okay.
Good point.
I'm thinking of writing a movie called
She was still hot. What other obvious things can we state?
Rob is a master of ending conversations.
and
he's dead. Moving on.
I'm a destroyer. Oh, I was thinking of writing a movie called The Karate Kid.
Just on the fringe of making it.
He can always listen. If he doesn't make it here, he can always get stunt double work as Pete Davidson stand-in.
You're the prince of Staten Island, Rob.
Kevin G, you drinking a ship bottom beer over there?
I am. I love it.
Right.
I get the LBI stuff. I love it. I brought a whole bunch back with me when I went down there a few months ago. I like what I don't know, 10 left. Just looked over there. There's my stash. Yeah, I love the ship bottom lager. It's one of my favorites.
Okay, so the lager you're drinking.
Yeah, the lager. They also
Okay, cool.
ship them up here. If you call the brewery, there's certain liquor stores. There's one in Paramus I also got a bunch from before I went down there, and they sell them up there. They'll ship them up there, and I just have to go and scoop them up there. But yeah, love the ship bottom lager. The brewery's great. The brewery is like a 5-minute walk from our house when we were down there.
That's awesome.
Nice. What are you drinking, Kevin?
I don't. You know what? I was running late and putting this together, so I didn't even have time to grab a drink. But I'm typically a Guinness guy.
Okay. What about you, Slim? What do you got?
Drinking a Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale, which if you've never had that, you should have it. It's amazing.
You should have it.
It's like-
What do you got, Rob?
Absinthe and Heineken.
What absinthe and Heineken? Jesus Christ! You must be on a super Dutch kick right now. Because I was in Amsterdam and I drank absinthe, and boy, oh boy, that shit is potent. But not
Rob,
Heineken.
we're
Heineken's
in the
gross.
studio with him.
I always got the absinthe. David, the producer, turned me on to absinthe, and it's been a downhill
Oh, that's
spiral.
right. You guys know David, the producer. That's our dude. We love
He's
that guy.
awesome.
Yeah,
Isn't he the
man.
best?
yeah.
He's done the show twice too. He did Goonies and Dirty Dancing.
Goonies for a while was the most controversial episode.
I don't agree
I
with the
agree.
Goonies. I enjoy the Goonies. I still watch it with one of my sons every summer, and I get a little kick out of it. I get a kick out of it.
Why don't you listen to our episode or watch the episode, and you may change your mind. You may.
I'm curious. So, what movie have you guys covered that you both were really surprised that the other person didn't like?
That is a good question. Let me pull them up. Kevin, stall for me while I pull up our list of stuff we've done.
So when you say the other person, you mean the guest that we bring on?
Yeah,
or
the guest. What was like the one opinion where you were like, oh no, like there's no way you're just
You know
insane.
what? It's funny. Kevin and I talk about this constantly. This podcast has ruined so many movies for me. It's almost ruined movie watching because there's so many. There were a number of movies that I was like, oh. When Kev told me what the guest picked, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I get to watch it again. This guy's an asshole, gonna tear him apart. The two that immediately jumped to mind are Face Off and Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Both of those movies I went into being like, I remember really, I mean, I knew Face Off was a bad movie, but I remember enjoying it, even though it was bad. And Batman Returns, I remember loving. I thought Batman Returns was fantastic. And both of them on the rewatch, I was like, yeesh, they did not hold up. And then once we had the episode and the guest came on and tore it apart, I really changed my view of these movies, and it's kind of shitty. It's like killing your innocence. But you know what? We do it for our listeners.
Some of the ones that surprised me how bad they were. All right, I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to start yelling them out. Bad. Inception was one.
Really?
I remember liking when I saw that.
I still like Inception.
I didn't.
It is the Emperor's New Clothes with that one.
Right.
Let's see what else is next that we were surprised. I like Scream. People don't. Kevin didn't like Scream. I still like Scream. I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Fight Club. Kevin loved Fight Club.
I love
that's
Fight
a-
Club.
We're split on. I hate that one. Uncut Gems. I like it. Some people don't. I would say another. God, what ones they hated? Step Brothers, awful.
Love it.
I've never seen
bad.
it.
Love the Step
Never
Brothers.
seen Step
John C.
Brothers.
Riley, you can never go wrong.
Well, guess what? They did. Next one. Oh, here you go. This one's. Here's one that surprises both kind of sort of was X-Men, the first X-Men film.
Oh, that was really just crushed my heart.
Right,
Yeah,
because
watching
I
that.
remember
I
that as being. I saw that in theaters when I was a kid, and I remember fucking love it. But
Good.
I've never
Yeah.
went back and watched it. So I guess
Watch
on
it
the
again.
rewatch, it's bad.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's more just a matter of Marvel has gotten it so right with so many other movies now that you go back and you look at what they were trying to do. that the movie's just the dialogue's bad, the plot is kind of bad, it's just the costumes are cheesy. Like it's just all it was like the first time you had sex. You remember it being great, but if you ever had to go back and watch it again, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
What was I
I'll have to rewatch it. Kevin I, though, I'm curious. Kevin G said you didn't like Scream. I just rewatched Scream recently, and I still fucking love it. Like, what do you not like about Scream?
You know what? I don't like it for what it actually intends to be. It's supposed to be this kind of campy spoof making fun of other horror movies.
Right.
And it just plays out so badly. Like the characters are all just ridiculous. The settings are all the whole scene. There are points where it tries to be a serious horror movie, and then there's just points where the two of them are stabbing each other at the end, and neither of them, he doesn't die. And it's like, what the hell's going on in this movie? The best part of that movie is the first 4 minutes with Drew Barrymore, and then after that, the movie just takes a giant shit.
Oh, you love Rose McGowan and her titties getting stuck in the garage door?
That's great. And I love the scene of those two guys stabbing each other. I thought that was great.
The strongest garage door opener ever.
Yeah, that was the strongest one. Those things can't even hold a goddamn labradoodle, let alone a fucking 120-pound woman.
I rewatched it recently because we got to interview Jamie Kennedy, so I was watching a bunch of Jamie Kennedy films. And
why would you torture yourself with that?
For guest prep.
for Slim. For
They're committed to their
purposes.
art.
I can't believe you got Jamie Kennedy. What was he doing after he was bagging groceries at Whole Foods?
He slept in a dumpster and then did a comedy special.
Yeah, he did
right
a comedy
outside
special.
the dumpster.
He just is releasing a comedy special. I think it's very recent.
It's called Outside the Dumpster.
If COVID has taught us anything, if you have any kind of fame at any point in your life, Netflix will give you a comedy special.
His was Tubi.
Goddamn
His was on Tubi.
Speaking of, actually, real quick on Jamie Kennedy, I'm 98% sure it was him. You can Google to double check. He did a documentary called Heckler, right? And it was about he was did stand up and people were just heckling him, and the idea is for people to get sympathy for him, but in the end, the hecklers were just right. Like, he's terrible, and he couldn't prove that he wasn't. It was so... It went out and completely went against what the goal was to make it. I'm 98% sure.
From another comedian
was called Heckler.
Coming from another comedian saying the hecklers were right does not does not
bode well.
Bode well for Jamie Kennedy.
Poor Jamie.
I mean, he got put in his place pretty badly. Again, he's made it. I haven't. What the fuck do I know?
I don't know. I watched the special and I wasn't too.
Yeah.
It was almost like a cry for help.
Yeah, it is Jamie Kennedy. I am right. It is Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the interview was great.
But the interview was
really
great,
cool to talk to.
It was Jamie Kennedy. But yeah.
Did he talk about how he stole about 3 pairs of Nev Campbell's panties from the Scream set and sniffs them or tries to sell them on eBay?
No.
We got to call him back.
Allegedly. I'm kidding. I made that up. That's complete horseshit.
Guys, we have to wrap it up.
Furiously Googling that right now.
Jamie Kennedy's telling us we have to wrap this up, guys.
Jamie Kennedy says we can't talk to you
all that up.
anymore.
There's no evidence. It's a joke, kids. There you go.
We love you guys. We're going to find you guys.
Kevin, you go first.
Well, you can find us on guttingthesacredcow.com, where we have blogs every day. We put out new blogs every day on different topics, from top 10 lists to movie news to movies we've watched that we're helping you avoid or telling you to watch. And like Kev said, we have our January 23rd live show coming up at the AMC in Clifton, New Jersey, which is going to be amazing, with Bill and Joanne from the morning show on Compound Media. It's going to be hysterical. It's going to be fun. And when can you get to watch The Karate Kid in the movie theater? And whether you love it or hate it, that's going to be a great experience in itself. And there are limited tickets because we're doing the whole social distancing COVID stuff to keep you safe while you have fun. So that and then you can find me at kevinisrael.com and my album The Struggle Is Real on iTunes and everywhere else you get comedy stuff.
It's a good album.
Yeah, all that what Kevin said. And also, if you haven't had the chance to, for all your listeners who are new, hey, we really appreciate if you gave us a 2 to 3 sentence review on the podcast platform of your choice that you listen to podcast on. 5-star rating. That shit really does help. In fact, we hit number 32 a week or two ago on iTunes Top 100 film podcasts.
Nice.
So we're getting kind of sort of somewhere, but we need all the help we can get. If you want to advertise with us, Gutting the Sacred Cow at gmail.com, GTSC Podcast on Twitter, and we're on Facebook and Instagram and hell, Tumblr, only because it just copies automatically from Instagram. Who's kidding who? But KevinGootee.com and Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But yeah, come to the live show. Bottom line, and
awesome.
if you're looking to get some late Christmas gifts for your friends or family, we've got merch. GuttingTheSacredCow.com merch store. Come get a long sleeve shirt, hat, bag, cell phone holder, mug. Who cares? It's all there. Check it out.
Cool. And then whenever COVID is cured and eradicated from the world, hopefully we can have you both in studio again because it's been some time.
It's been a minute.
Let's all get vaccinated together.
Yes, we will do it live on the internet.
Sucking down absinthe and Heineken. Perfect.
It's not gay if you're vaccinated.
Is that what you kids call it these days?
It's not gay if you're vaccinated.
Damn right.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Later, guys.